Okay, the next thing we want to look at is how we correctly make measurements with the correct amount of accuracy and precision in our measurements and make sure we're recording the correct number of digits. When making a measurement, we have to have some sort of scale. The metric scale is going to be the most common thing that we use, but not all scales are exactly the same, especially depending on what piece of equipment we're using in the lab or in the classroom. So it's going to be very important that we use all numbers reported as digits. We do not use fractions as any part of our number recorded digits, and that we use the concept of significant figures or significant digits when looking at these scales that we're working with. The correct procedure for recording any data in this course is to record all of the digits you know for sure, plus the one that you estimate. So we will record, based on the scale that we're looking at, all the digits that we are certain of, plus one additional estimated digit. So best way to talk about this is to look at a lot of examples. So here we have a graduated cylinder. We see the meniscus. The meniscus is falling directly on about this line here, just slightly above the mark on the graduated cylinder. We see here, based on the scale, we've got 70 to 80. So 70 down here to 80 up here with a scale of 1. So we know this is just barely above the 76 line and less than the 77 line. So I know that it is definitely 76 milliliters. And then I'm going to estimate one additional place, so maybe 76.1 milliliters. Let's try another one. Here we see the line just barely up here above the 40 line. This is once again a scale of 1s, so it's between 40 and 41. So I know it is definitely 40. I'm 100% sure of that. And then I can estimate one additional digit. And I'll call it 40.4. You could say 40.3, 40.2, 40.4, 40.1. It would all be just fine, because that's the last digit is estimated. Now start trying these on your own before, maybe pause it for a second, try it, and then come back to the video. So here's the meniscus line just above the 64, in between 64 and 65. So I would write 64. It's about halfway in between, so I'll estimate a 5. You may have chosen 64.6, 64.4. They would all be correct. Here we have a different scale. You can see we're on this line here. So we've got between 100 and 150. Here's 125. So this is 105, 10, 15, 20. So it's between 115 and 120. So the only thing I can say for sure is that it's between 115 and 120. I'll call it maybe 118 milliliters, which is the best I can do with this scale. Here's another one. Our meniscus is about right here. So we go 250 to 300, so each is 5. So it's between 310 and 315. I'm going to say 312 milliliters. Here's something slightly different. Here we can actually see the meniscus right there. So in this case, we go from 30 to 35. This is 1, so this is between 35 and 36. So I'd maybe say 35.7 milliliters. In this case, similar type scale, just above the 40 line, so I would say maybe 40.5 milliliters. Here's another one. This is a very different scale. Here's our meniscus. We have 10. This would be the 11. So if we count, we can see the scale better down here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11.5. But it's between 11.5 and 12. So I'd maybe say 11.7. Here's a similar scale, meniscus right here, just below 15.5, so I'd maybe say 15.4. So you see, in these cases, many different scales, you always read all the digits you know for sure on the scale plus one that you estimate.